Welcome back to Talking Wednesday. Oh, Jack.
Leave that in, please. With like one of those TV static things, and then it goes to the doorbell.
James,
Welcome back to Talking...
It's membership content.
We've got 4 podcasts to do in 3 days, lads. I'm going to kill someone. Welcome back to Talking Wednesday Extra. It is the draft update, and finally, Jack is not in a cheerleader outfit during the draft update, and instead, he is here in person. So make sure both of your mics are actually unmuted on the recording, boys. But how are we feeling before we know anything about the draft update? Jake?
Oh, I would just really don't want to know. I know it's bad. I know it's poor. I knew as soon as you said this draft, I was really excited. Then I realised how bad my fantasy team go. I'm probably bottom by a very long way.
Maybe. We'll see. Jack?
I mean, that's fine, Jake. You've already told us several times in the past you like being a bottom. But also...
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. I'm now in a fleece because, you know, having the tartars out in a very skimpy cheerleader outfit isn't great when it's especially getting windy in a draft.
That was good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
There's tumbleweeds flying across everyone's screen right now. What was the question of how am I feeling about the draft? Yes. Well, I was almost topped by some considerable margin and edging ever closer to you, James. I'm happy about that.
I don't want you edging anywhere close to me, to be honest, Jack. If I'm absolutely
what happened
honest.
in Wembley stays in Wembley, James, all right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's get
just
that
for a
rumour mill
record,
going.
remember these
let's
Talking
get
Wednesday...
that rumour mill going. Oh,
rein
yes.
it in a little bit, because remember, these Talking Wednesday extras do go live to everyone, so just a little bit less Jack.
Okay. The people deserve to know some funny rumours. Any publicity is good publicity, after all.
The only thing that happened at Wembley, mate, is I was close to smothering you because you can't stop snoring.
Yes.
What are you saying, Jake?
I said, he's saying any room with a good publicity. Not if it's you two in a hotel room. No, it's not.
Blech.
That's the noise that may have been made.
Jack!
Octua, we did it first.
You see, I was going to say, I've got a cold coming on and I've got a sore throat, but that's not going to help this situation at all, is it?
No.
I can't be dealing with this and telling you off. Right, draft update. Bloody hell. So, last time out, we had a few swap-overs. We lost a few players. It's been a while. It's been quite a few months. We actually skipped the last international break when we'd usually do an update, so it's been running on for a while with the current players.
How many months has it actually been?
The last time we did it was Coventry, so whenever that was.
Jesus, that's October, I want to say.
Yeah, so it's been a little while. So, Jack, well, I was leading the draft just with 162.5 points. Jack, you were just behind me, 158 points, 0.25 points.
What? Sorry, what was that? What?
And then Jake was about 30 or so points off on 124. So he weren't too far off.
Oh, definitely.
We lost players, though, last time. So we had a vote from the communities to steal, which meant that we all lost 2 players. I lost Max Lowe and Gassama. Jack lost Johnson and Beadle, and Jake lost Shalaber and Palmer. From that, we then had a random number generator to give us 2 more players out of the field. Jake got Famio and Fusire in that, which looked all right at the time.
It did, actually.
Yep. I got Paul Valentin and Pato, which I was a bit annoyed at losing Gassama at, I'm not going to lie, but he's not a big scorer, but he was better than Pato.
Can I just say something? When Femo went off at Pompey, I just got a message from Jane going, "Oh dear, like you get."
No, because as you'll see in the draft, he was quite a good scorer when he was fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jack got Max Lowe from me, which actually you'll find out as we go through the draft, I'm quite annoyed at because he's quite consistent, even though he's not a standout. And he also got Shea Charles, which me and Jake were very, very annoyed at.
Yes.
It did mean that left in the pool were still some players such as Beadle, Hamer, Charles, Pierce Charles, Palmer, Owekwe, Marvin Johnson, who, by the way, I won't go through this, but in some of the big games where Wednesday have had performances, Marvin Johnson's had man of the match twice, and none of us have got him.
Oh.
Shalaba, who's obviously fit again and has been putting in some performances and been getting a few points.
I'll be honest with you,
Gassama
Johnson's had such a glow up this season, if you look at it.
So today we are going to lose 2 players, but we are only going to gain 1 back today. We'll be doing that towards the end of the draft update. What's going to happen is we will be picking in reverse order. So the person who's leading the draft, I'm not obviously going to spoil it here, will be picking last. The person who's second will be picking second. The person who's last will be picking first. And that's out of the available players we have got. Also, but to do that, you are choosing to drop a player. You have to drop a player from the same position that you pick a player up in. Does that make sense? So if you drop a defender, you have to pick a defender.
If I drop a defender, I have to pick a defender. If you drop a winger, you have to pick a winger.
Not a winger. Midfielder counts as a winger.
Yeah. Okay.
We split it like, I will go through the splits a little bit later on because we purposely put like certain people in forward positions and things like that. Like Marvin Johnson, for example, counts as midfield, not defence. Right. And I believe we actually had Gassama as a forward. Yeah, so Gassama's, for example, is a forward.
Right, okay.
But we'll go through that later on. That's not a problem. But yes, that's how we're going to do it. And the other pick, obviously we're losing 2 players, which means for about a month now, guys, we're going to have less points because we're only going to have 5 players. But the reason I'm doing that is because on the deadline day, when we do the deadline day stream, we get to pick 3 players, 1 each of the window. Again, it'll be in that same order. So last goes first, second goes second, first goes last. We get to pick the players that have been signed in January. If no players are signed in January or not enough to go round, I didn't
like how you had to preface that going, if we don't get anything in January.
Yep. I could see it happening. If that happens, then the pool will just be reopened for the players that are still available.
Right.
Okay? Without further ado, let's get into this bedlam that took me about 4 hours to collate all of this last night. So after Coventry, we played. I've lost it. Where is it? There it is. Burnley. Does anybody remember the score at Burnley?
2-0. Burnley won it.
It was.
Burnley.
So, Jack, Max Lowe, your new defender, got you 1 point. He was on the bench. Valerie got you 3 points. Starts, got 1 in extras. Shea Charles got you 2 points. So your new man who was just started, didn't get anything else. Jamal Lowe, 1 point. Masaba, 1.5. Oh, I've done that wrong. 1.5 points. Just need to add a 0.5 to your total. Give me 1 second because I've missed a 0.5 off. As I said, this took me 4 hours and my eyes were very tired. Where is your overall?
I find it really funny.
I'm just hearing excuses, not solutions.
See, I find it really funny that Jack been slating Valerie and he's one of his key players.
He's mine now. Oh, no. Valentin. I thought you said Valentin. Sorry, yeah. Valerie.
But you're really not helping with the whole this is rigged potential storyline of this year's draft here, James.
How would it be rigged?
Because he's mine now.
Wait, how can Valerie?
He rig it? No, Valentin is mine after the last steal.
Yeah.
Valerie isn't mine.
How could he rig it?
Because he thought, because it's his draft. He's the organizer.
It's not my draft.
He's basically running an
I've
election
actually
in
been
North
shafted
America.
by this draft. I got Patterson, who doesn't play. You got Shay Charles on the same day I got
to
Patterson.
maintain the illusion somehow.
Hang on a minute. You're turning around and saying that you've conflicted all that whole situation. You weren't here when you got a better system, and we were both on the stream and on the video going, "What the hell?"
And you only weren't here because you were playing cricket, which is a sin in itself. Anyway, Smith got a point. That meant for
that I've achieved a double nibble.
The week of we're only on the first bloody game. We've got about a month and a half of games to go here, boys. We're only on Jack's first score. 9.5 points, Jack, you got for the Burnley game.
Nice.
Jake.
Yeah.
You can smile at this bit, all right? Bernard got you 3 points. Famio got you 3.5 points. He's your top scorer that week. Shows we weren't great against Burnley, obviously. Ingleson got you 1.5 points. Fuseri got you no points. I'm afraid I'm just not going to read Fuseri's name out anymore because for the rest of the games, he got you no points because he wasn't in the squad at all.
Yikes.
Kabachi got you 2 points. You see where this is going in the future, don't you, as well? And McNeil was on the bench, so he got you a point.
I forgot I'm McNeil. Oh, Jesus.
Give us McNeil.
So you've got 11 points that week.
Bad, but
more than Jack.
I think that's the most I'm going to get this entire thing.
You actually won that week because Iorfa got me 1 point. Paul Valentin got me 3.5. Bannon got me 4. So Bannon was actually the highest scorer that week of any of ours. Josh Windass wasn't in the squad. Neither was Pato. And Ugbo got 2 points. So Ugbo's really let me down, believe it or not, as you can imagine. 10.5 points. So Jake, you were top scorer that week against Burnley.
And then it all went downhill from here.
How are we feeling so far?
I'm happy I got top place, but I also know it's going to go downhill because McNeil doesn't play. Akin's injured. Kabachi's injured. I might as well just sign Bench FC or Injured FC and just be done with it and go, here the title boys.
I actually don't know how you've been so unlucky at your picks, to be honest, but there we are. Moving on to Swansea, Max Lowe got you 1 point, Jack. Jan Valery, man of the match, which meant he got 8 extras. He got 12 points in total for you that week.
12?
Shay Charles got 6.5 points. Jamal Lowe got 2 points. Masaba wasn't in the squad. Smith got 1 point. You got a total against Swansea of 22.5 points. Jake, Bernard got you 8.5 points against Swansea. Famio got you 6 points against Swansea. You got lots of extras, actually, Famio, that week. Ingleson got you 2 points. Kabachi got you 1.5, and McNeil wasn't in the squad. So the total for you that week, Jake, was a very respectable 18 points. I absolutely ate feces that week because I also got me 1 point. Iorfa got me 1 point. Valentin got me 2.5 points. Bannon got me 3.5 points. Windass, Pato, and Ugbo all got me 1 point each for being just on the bench. So I got 10 points. So you boys got quite considerably more against Swansea. Portsmouth. Max Lowe got you 3 points, Jack. Valerie got you 6 points. Shay Charles got you 4 points. So Valerie, again, is your top scorer because Jamal Lowe got you 1.5 points. Oh, no, I'm lying. Jamal Lowe got you 1.5 points. Masaba got you 2 points. Strap in, boys. Michael Smith got you 21.5 points.
Bloody hell.
He got 2 for starting. He got a goal and assist, which is 9 points.
I think that's really understating it. The goal.
He got an overall rating of, I think it was 8 point something, which means if it's an 8 to a 9, it's 3 points. We very rarely get 3 on the rating, by the way. That's one of the only times it's happened. And for extras, bear in mind you get half a point per extra, whether that's a block shot, a clearance, or a key pass. He got 7.5. So that means he got 15 of those extras.
Jesus.
So 21.5 points, which meant your total against Portsmouth, Jack, was 38 points.
Jesus Christ. This is where mine goes downhill because
Famio's not injured yet.
Players.
Bernard got you 8 points, Jake. Famio got you 3. Ingleson got you 1. You got 12 points that week. Nobody else got any points.
Fair enough.
Iorfa got me 6. Valentin got me 2.5. Bannon got me 5.5. Windass got me 7.
Ooh.
Pato got 1.5 and Ugbo got 1 because he was on the bench. So I got 23.5, which is quite respectable for that week. So Jake, yes, this is where you start to
decline,
see things. Brentford away in the cup. Max Lowe was your highest scorer that week, Jack, with 5.5 points. I won't go through everyone because it was pretty unremarkable. Your total was 11.5 points, though. You got some solid points across the board. No Valerie or Shay Charles in that squad. You're only a couple of points behind there that week, Jake. You got 9 points.
Right.
Because Fusiri played. He got 2.5 points. McNeil was on the bench. Ingleson got 3 points and Bernard got 2.5 points. I got 12.5 points, so I won the cup week because basically I had Pato in there and he got 6 points, whereas Eofa got 3.5, Windass got 1.5, Ugbo got 1.5. Watford. Believe it or not, there's points here because there's 2 goals. Despite the conceding, we don't do minus points. So Max Lowe, Jack, got you 2.5. Valerie got you 3. Shay Charles got you 3. Jamal Lowe got you 6 points.
Oh.
Masaba got you 1 point. And then this is where the problem lies. None of us really wanted Michael Smith. Bloody Michael Smith got him 11 points against Watford, which means you got, for Watford, that loss, you got 26.5 points.
Thank you, Michael Smith.
Compare that to Jake's total points that week. Jake got 4.5 points in total.
Oh dear.
And that was from Bernard, who got 3.5, and Ingleson, who got 1 point.
Oh dear.
I didn't do too bad. I got 18 points that week. I offer 3.5. Valentin, he got a goal. Valentin, obviously, remember there against Watford, 6.5 points. Bannon, 2.5. Windass, 2. Pato, 1. Ugbo, 2.5. Best leave that one in the past for you there, Jake. I think that might be a lowest scoring week. I'm not sure, though. We'll find out, I'm sure.
I don't want to leave Watford at home, full stop.
But Jack, you can see a pattern emerging with Michael Smith here.
Yes, I can.
Norwich. Jack, you got 22 points that week.
Ooh.
Who do you think your highest performer was?
Is this leading on from there's a pattern emerging here, or is it
a trick question?
Yeah.
And also, you should remember that you were at this game.
I know. Was it potentially Valerie?
No, it was Shay Charles. He got you 11 points.
Oh, Shay Charles. Okay. He was immense that
Valerie
game.
Valerie got you 3. Yeah. Max Lowe got you 4.5. The reason I said that is because it's a trick question. Smith only got you 1.5 points that week.
There we go.
Jamal Lowe got you 1. Masaba got you 1. Jake. Bernard got you 3.5 points. 4 players didn't play, obviously, and weren't in the squad, so no points there out of your 6. But Ingleson got you 4 points. Yeah. Because he got a 7+ rating, so you got 7.5 points that week. What'd you say?
I said, go on the Swede.
Just made me think of Swede and Carrot for some reason. That's how late it is when we're doing this podcast. I had an all right week this week. Iofa got me 10 points because he got a goal.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Valentin got me 2. Bannon got me 2.5. Bannon's been underperforming a little bit in terms of the ratings, I'm not going to lie, apart from certain games. Windass got me 10 points because of a goal as well in there along with the extras. Patterson got me 2. Ugbo got me 2. So I actually technically got more that week because I got 28.5 points that week. So quite a strong week.
Jack, you do realise the moment James gets it that Ugbo finally scores, our Discord chat is just going to go mental.
Yeah. Yeah, Ugbo's pretty much got me 2 points every week. It's done my nutting. Especially because our strikers are where our forwards are meant to be where we're getting the points.
Yeah.
Sheffield United. Max Lowe actually was your highest performer that week, funnily enough, because where he came from. He got 4 points. Valerie 2.5, Charles 2.5, Jamal Lowe 1, Masaba 1, Smith 2. You got 13 points that week. Jake, you got 7 points overall. 5 points from Bernard, though. Higher than any of Jack's scorers. So Bernard is still proving to be absolutely solid for you. Ingleson, 2 points. I got 12.5 points that week, so just half a point behind Jack. You won on a low-scoring week there, Jack. 13. I also got me 3.5. Valentin got 1. Bannon got 2.5. Windass got 2. Pato got 1. And Ugbo got 2.5. Then we moved to Cardiff. Max Lowe got you 2.5 points, Jack. Valerie got you 2. Shay Charles, 6.5 points there. 2.5 points in extras really helped to that. Jamal Lowe, 1 point. Masaba, 1.5 points. And Smith got you 4.5 points for a total of 18 points this week. You keep putting strong numbers on the board every week with yours.
It's annoying because he wasn't there to do any of this.
But you had our highest performer that week, Jake, with Bernard, who got you 10.5 points because of his goal and his extras. Ingleson got you 1 point. McNeil was actually on the bench, so he was in the squad, so he got you 1 point as well. You got 12.5 points that week.
Get that.
I got 1 point from Iorfa, 2 from Valentin, 6 from Barry Bannon, 6.5 from Windass. He got an assist, if you remember in that game. Pato got 1 point. Ugbo got 2.5 points again. So I got 19 points that week. So I did win that week, but only just. Because Jack can't help but get high scores.
This is where you two do really well, Hull.
I actually think this might be one of the highest scoring week we've had.
Yeah,
in general. It might be, and it's Hull. Max Lowe, Jack, got you 6.5 points.
Ooh.
Valerie got you 7.5 points.
Ooh.
Shay Charles got you 9.5 points. Jamalo got you 1 point. Masaba got you 7.5 points because of the assist and the extras and the rating.
Yeah.
Smith got you 9.5 points because of his goal and the rating. So that's a total of 41.5 points against Hull for you. Bear in mind, on our first, I think our first tally up, the total after our first lot of games, Jack, you had 43.75 from the first month of fixtures.
Yeah.
And you just got that nearly that in one game.
Jesus.
Amazing.
Yep. Moving on to Jake. Bernard got you 8 points, so he performed really well, but the only other person in the squad was Ingleson, and he didn't come on. Well, he might have come on, but he didn't get anything in terms of he didn't start, so he was a bench player. You got 9 points that week. Yeah, 9 points that week, so a bit of a contrast. I had a star performer in Windass who got me 9.5 points, but that just... Oh, yeah, by the way, Shay Charles got his extras for you from Man of the Match there, Jack. Nice. Worth mentioning. I got 21 points that week. Performers such as Windass getting 9.5, Bannon got 3.5, but then it was just 2s and 1s across the board for other people. Derby.
Windass anyway, got no pace.
That's a blessing in the past. Derby. Max Lowe got you 3.5 points. This is the thing I'm quite annoyed about losing Max Lowe because he just consistently gets like 3s to 6s, and it's just, it puts the points on the board. Valerie with 4, Shay Charles with 3, Jamal Lowe with 8.5 that week because of his goal.
Of course.
Masaba 2, Smith 4.5. So 25.5 for you. Another solid week against Derby, Jack. Jake, I lied. That wasn't your lowest scoring week. This one was.
Oh dear.
3 or 2? 1, 0.
You got 1 point.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Bernard was suspended, which means the only player you still had eligible was Ingleson, and he was on the bench.
I knew when Bernard got suspended, I was like, there was a reason why I was like, this is going to end badly for me and not in a Wednesday in terms of playing football way. And I couldn't place it. Now I know.
Yeah. Well, I actually, I've got my joint top scorer in terms of, when we do the who's our top scorers across the time. I think yours is now Smith, Jack, and I don't think he'll be beaten with the tally he had. But this ties Windass's 15.5 points is Barry Bannon, because he obviously got man of the match. He scored that goal against Derby as well. So I got 30 points that week with the likes of Patterson getting me 6.5. Iorfa getting me 3.5. Valentin getting me 2.5. Obviously Bannon's 15.5 and Windass getting 2. Ugbo wasn't in the squad. So if Ugbo had have actually come on and done something, I could have had a really good week there.
Yeah.
that 4.5 points more than Jack that week is keeping me in the race, just. Because Jack is pulling away, as you can imagine. Preston. Max Lowe got 5.5 points for Jack. Valerie got 3.5. Charles got 2.5. Jamal Lowe got 1.5. Masaba got 8 points, an assist in that game, a good rating. Smith got 11 points, a goal in that game, a good rating, good extras. Another solid week for Jack, 32 points overall.
But
you got 7 points. Yeah. You got 7 points that week, Jake. McNeil was in the squad. Ingleson was in the squad. Bernard got 5.
Yay.
I didn't do very well that week. I only got 9 points. And I had 2 players out. Pato and Bannon weren't in the squad. Valentin got 2.5. Windass got 2.5. Ugbo got 3. And I also got 1. So 9 points total for me that week. I only just beat you, Jake. I feel bad for you now, though.
So,
Blackburn. You got 20 points that week, Jack, with 5.5 from Charles. He was your second top scorer because Max Lowe, again, 6.5 points. Valerie, 2.5. Jamal Lowe, 2. Masaba, 2.5. And Smith, 1 point that week. Jake, you got 5 points, 4 from Bernard, 1 from Ingleson. I'm not going to dwell on that too much for you. I got a mixture of points. My highest scorers were Iorfa and Bannon, who both got 3 points. But then there was 1s and 2s across the board for 11.5 points that week from me, low scoring overall. And then we come to our final game of this recording. Obviously, I think when everybody sees this, not members, will have already done the Stoke game, but that's going to be included in the next lot of draft. Oxford. I just hate your luck, Jack.
I told you.
Max Lowe, 6.5 points. Valerie, 3.5 points. Shay Charles, 6.5 points. Jamal Lowe, 9 points. Masaba, 1.5 points. And Michael Smith, 10.5 points. Meaning you got 37.5 points.
Oh, good. Excellent. How nice. How wonderful.
Right. Jack, I said at the end of the one we did, you watch him do really well because he's not here and he fluked it all.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. And Shay Charles was actually he acquired him, and he's not even ended up being his best pull. It's like Smith. Jake, you did all right though. Where you got 11 points. Bernard had a really good week and got 8 points in total. Ingerson with 2, McNeil with 1, so you got 11 points total. I had a fairly average week. Windass got the goal, obviously. So Windass got 9 points. I got 2.5 from Bannon, 2 from Valentin, 1.5 from Iorfa. Pato wasn't in the squad, and Ugbo got 1, so I got 16 that week. Who do you think might be winning? Who do you think you might be losing, boys, after you've heard that without the maths?
Wait a minute. Are you saying that Windass got the points for that obvious, apparent own goal that everyone was so convinced was an own goal, and they would not get off their high horse about it being an own goal? That's interesting that you've given Windass points for that one. I just say this because I know that I'm quite considerably in the lead.
It is quite considerable as well.
God, I knew
in third place currently with a total of 114.5 points.
By the way, I do have drum rolls on the sound pad if you want me to play it.
You've got a whole
it's all right. I don't think we need drum rolls for this. I think you can tell which way it's going. Your high performer this time. This shows the level you've had with your players. Your highest performer was Bernard at Swansea with 8.5 points.
Yep.
In second, I have lost the top spot is me with 222 points. So more than 100 than you, Jake. So we're going to put some wild cards in to try and level it up towards the end of the season. I'll start thinking about it.
No,
this is just from this, by the way. It's not total. This is just the third phase, by the way.
Oh.
My highest performer was Bannon for 15.5 there. Jack in the third phase got 301 points.
What?
Jesus Christ!
What did I start off on? What was the say the first?
Your
phase
first
again?
phase was 48 points.
Oh.
And you've just got 300 in your phase.
Bloody
your
hell.
highest performer was Smith with 21.5 points. Yes.
So that's not even the total points.
No.
Currently.
So the total here's the
shit.
total. Jake is last with 238.5 points total. I am second with 384 points total and a half. Jack, you have 489.25 points.
Oh, cool.
You have more than 100 on me and more than 200 on Jake after this last phase.
Dex, like cap his kneecap so he can't run.
Yeah. Something's going to happen.
Concrete shoes.
All I'm saying is when I bring the steals in the next international break, which I believe is in March.
Yep.
Target Jack, audience. Otherwise, we've all lost it.
Calm down, Luigi. Jesus.
So, here's what happens. We now decide 2 players we want to lose. Now, just forget about the 2 players for now. Let's do it one at a time. Jake, look at your players, which are Bernard, Famio, Ingleson, Fusire, McNeil, Kabachi. Now,
does make me chuckle that
you can replace
Fusire.
That's how you say it.
I thought it was Fusire.
No.
No? Oh.
Apparently not.
Oh.
If you do the pronunciation thing, that's what they said it was.
Oh.
But I might be wrong.
I'm not even getting involved in the conversation. He'll end up with 2 different names. 3, knowing me.
So, you can... Let me just have a look here. If you drop any player, obviously they go back into... Anybody else can choose them. But you could drop a defender, either Famio or Bernard, and pick up Beadle, Hamer, Pierce Charles, Palmer, or Awekwe.
Yep.
You could drop Ingleson or Fusire and pick up Marvin Johnson or Chalobah. Bear in mind, I did say Marvin Johnson had 2 man of the matches. Marvin Johnson, I believe, actually, had a couple of 14-point weeks.
Yeah.
So it depends on how much he's going to get played in the second leg of the season, but there's a lot to think about there. Chalobah obviously is now fit as well.
Yep.
So if you decided you wanted to get rid of Ingleson or Fusire, you could get one of those. Or if you want to drop McNeil or Kabachi, you could pick up Gassama. So who would you like your first swap to be? Bear in mind, me and Jack will be able to both pick one after you before you drop your next one.
I want to get Johnson Fuser out.
That's absolutely fine. So Fusire's gone back into circulation. And Jake, you have got Johnson in the midfield for you. So it's my choice next. Now, this is a risk because Pato can get points, but I'm going to back Ugbo to do all right, and I'm going to drop Pato and get Gassama back.
I know.
Because I've missed having Gassama in the side, and he's just been points wasted, and he bloody got man of the match last time out, and none of us got the points for him. So that means Pato is back in circulation if anybody else wants to swap out a forward and wants Pato. So let me just write that in. Jack, so you have, if you were to drop a forward, you have Pato available. If you want to drop a midfielder, you have Chalobah and Fusire available. If you want to drop a defender, you have Beadle, Hamer, Pierce, Charles Palmer, and Awekwe. By the way, this is not optional. You have to drop someone. Okay.
Can you read out my team currently?
Max Lowe, Jan Valery, Jamal Lowe, Shea Charles, Masaba, and Smith. You have the best team of all of us.
I'm gonna.
If you want to drop the,
I'm gonna drop Masaba. He's classed as a forward, right?
Yes.
What other forwards have we got available?
Just Pato.
Oh yeah, Pato. There we go. Masaba for Pato, then please.
Okay. That's probably the wise choice because, to be honest, you probably wouldn't want to lose any of yours. But if you had to lose one there, Pato can at least pick up points. Right. So this next drop, everybody has to lose someone. But it opens up the free transfer signing next season. Okay. Or should we just wait and do it in the window?
Go wait and do it in the window.
Considering it's all about the transfers.
Let's do it in the window.
It might be a good transfer window draft video.
As Christmas spirit, let's only do the one
cling
swap.
onto my lead as long as I can. I
think it'll take a long time for nothing to catch up, but to.
And because it's the Christmas spirit,
I
have decided that me and Jack can decide if we both agree to give the loser an extra player for the next month. However, they only get half points. Jack, would you feel like we can do that for Jake?
I think we can do that for Jake because he's so far behind. Yes.
So,
I think.
Do we give him?
What do you think?
We could give it like if we gave him Masaba, but Masaba's an extra, so Masaba you just lose him at the end and he goes back into the pool. I think Masaba or Shalaba or even Palmer would, or even Beadle. The Beadle would probably be consistent points. That's 2 points every week. What are you thinking?
I was thinking Beadle. Give him Beadle for this
and then
next. Yeah.
It's at least points on the board. But you only get half points with Beadle. So
better than
whatever he gets. So even if he just plays every week.
He's basically going to be playing all the time. So
So it's a point a week.
Yeah.
Jack, if anything happened to Beadle or gets recalled, I'm going to kill you.
Well, it's an extra. You've not lost anyone for it, Jake. So that is the Christmas gift from me and Jack to give Jake something to catch up.
Even though I'm a miserable bastard.
Are we happy?
It is December. It's not a Christmas tradition without Jake having an absolute meltdown every single December.
He's being a right git again. He's not even had a baby this time. He's just being miserable for the sake of it.
Keeping up traditions, you know? He's a traditionalist.
Anyway, I'm losing my voice and we've got to do another podcast.
You better go and find it.
I will ask you this once you two eventually have kids, how much you like planning birthday parties.
I was thinking of jokes, but I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah.
Right. I think you and me were both searching for that, and Jack, but it's late.
I think you both had it and you weren't wicking it.
Yeah.
We need to make up some ground on Jack. But how are we feeling in terms of our teams? Obviously, Jack, you've probably lost a stronger performer there if Masaba has a run, but, I think you've still got a solid team. How are you feeling?
I think I've kept all of the players that are the consistent ones, and Masaba's a bit of a wild card, as he has been in the season, to be honest.
If Shea Charles gets recalled, though...
I'm screwed. If Shea Charles gets recalled, I'm screwed.
You're only screwed for a few months, though, because you could drop the... No. This is why I wanted to do it. I remember now, because of loan players. Choose who you are dropping at the end of January.
Right.
Jake, you pick first.
Akin.
Okay. So these players have to, they're with you through January, but then they have to go into the pool. You might be able to pick them back up.
However will I cope?
However will you cope, big rock bottom?
He's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Iorfa.
Ooh.
Because I reckon we might try and get a centre-back in.
Yeah.
Jack.
Jack's
now difficult. You see he's got a bet on whether Shea Charles is getting recalled or not.
I think
sweating.
I'm going to drop Shea Charles at the end of January.
Cool.
Because, Danny Rule might be taking him, but might be playing him when he becomes the Southampton manager. Ooh.
Don't start. So, what will happen is there will be picks involved, but what will overrule the picks is if players are signed in the position where we've said they'll drop. So here's how it works. Say we sign 3 players, and it's 2 defenders and it's one midfielder, nice and easy. Because basically, Jake, you'll get to pick over me because you're lower in points than me. Yep. You get to pick which one of the defenders you want, and then those 2 defenders get swapped out for Famio and Iorfa. Okay?
Right. Yep.
If a midfielder signs, then he just swaps for Shea Charles for you, Jack. However, if, say, we sign 1 defender, 1 forward, 1 midfielder, then the defenders will automatically be assigned to the people who've dropped. So that's where it might be unfortunate for you, Jake, if they end up, dropping in those situations. But then the extras will go into the pool, and then I technically don't have to drop Iorfa. I can choose somebody else to drop. Or say we don't sign any midfielders, Jack doesn't have to drop Shea Charles. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
You only have to drop if we sign players in those positions, basically, the January drops.
Oh, yeah.
Right, get you.
Okay. I explained that terribly. That's not how it's going to work specifically. All 3 players will be dropped. I will drop Iorfa, Jack will drop Charles, Punk will drop Famio. However, they will go back into the pool, is what I was trying to get at there. So if we don't sign 2 defenders and a midfielder, there will be choices, whether they are chosen by the audience or ourselves. You'll have to find out when that comes around. We will be going back into the pool, which basically means I don't technically have to drop Iorfa because Iorfa is in that pool. That's just one potential. We might change it up and make it so Iorfa has to go and then it's a random pick. But basically, we are going to lose those players, but we then have to pick from the pool of players that are left. In this case, the defense is quite wild. If we don't sign any defenders, the pool is quite big because the keepers are in there. There's also the case with the midfielders. There's only pretty much Chalobah left. So if Charles does leave and we don't sign a midfielder, Jack basically will have to roll for Charles or Chalobah based on how we do it. So hopefully that clears it up a little bit more. All the players will be going back into the pool, which means we could end up with the same players back, but it's not guaranteed. That's what I planned. That's what I wrote down. If it changes, I'll let you know. Let us know what you're thinking of the draft as we're going on, and I'm sick of Jack winning, but take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next Talking Wednesday Extra.
See ya.
See you later.